What's going on, guys? My name is Diggy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an NFL Madden rebuild for you guys. I'm wearing my Larry Fitzgerald jersey, which I think you can guess what team we're going to do. It's going to be the Arizona Cardinals. This is my first video on the channel. I kind of got inspired by a couple people who I started watching on YouTube do Madden style rebuilds. I really enjoy Madden. I've been playing it for a couple years now. I've always kind of done franchise mode, but I've never really thought about turning it into a channel or, video style. But I mean, here I am giving it a shot, and we're going to hop right in with the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to go through the team, but we haven't entered the offseason yet. So obviously from whatever you see right now, it's going to be a little bit different very, very shortly. But I kind of want to go over some of the guys that are going to be around for a while. And one of those guys is going to be Kyler Murray, man. Kyler Murray, first overall pick last year for the Cardinals out of Oklahoma. Probably going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year this year. I think if Josh Jacobs doesn't get hurt down the stretch, it probably goes to him. But Murray had a pretty solid year. He didn't have a lot of help from his offensive line, that's for sure. Running for his life and getting sacked a lot. So that was super fun to watch. Kenyon Drake, brought in from the Miami trade, 26 years old. He's going to be a free agent. I know in one of his touchdown runs, he was cracking open the safe and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to give him the keys to the vault, if you will. But, I mean, he's a good back, man. He just never had an opportunity in Miami. Not a lot of people do. Look at what Ryan Tannehill is doing right now. I'm recording this on Tuesday, so the Titans already made it past the divisional round, so they're in the conference finals against the Chiefs. David Johnson's here. DJ is such a sad story, man. He was so good a couple years ago. Won me a couple fantasy leagues. Shout out to you, David. But he's 28 years old. He's just always hurt. I don't think he ever got over that wrist injury that he missed quite a few games for, and he missed a lot of this year. He's probably gonna end up being cut by the Cardinals this offseason or traded, which will be sad, but also, this is a young up and coming team. Obviously, we're old right now, but the core is pretty young, and he just doesn't fit in with this offense, the scheme that Cliff Kingsbury wants to run. So it's sad, man. It's sad to see him go, but I think that's going to be what happens this offseason, at least, what I think should happen. Chase Edmonds here had a good couple games for us this year, but, probably just more of a rotational back than anything. Larry Fitzgerald obviously got the jersey on. I think these are their color rushes or alternates. But, yeah, Larry legend, man. 37 years old, 16th year in the league. NFL stands for not for long, man, and this guy has stood the test of time. In my opinion, the second best receiver to ever do it. Yes, I put him over Randy Moss. I put him behind Jerry Rice. I put him in front of T.O. He's just so good, man. He's been so consistent for them. There have been a lot of up and downs while he's been an Arizona Cardinal, man, and he is stuck by this team. He's been loyal. And that's just, he's the guy that I grew up idolizing. I'm from Canada, but I played football and stuff like that. He's pretty much the reason why I fell in love with the game. And, he's pretty great. And it'll be sad to probably have to let him go in this franchise at least, because he's an upcoming free agent. Obviously, waiting on his decision in real life. I'd like to see him come back for a year. Heck, I'd like to see him play till he's 40, but it's a different game now, man. There's so much speed out there. The young guys, they're just hitting different. They're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger. He made his mark on the league, and I'll always appreciate that from him, but I don't know if he should come back for another year. I'd like to see him do it, and I mean, I just don't think this team is going to succeed next year all that much more than they did this year. Obviously, I'd like to see them do that, but they got a lot of holes to fill, and it just sucks that he's going to probably retire without a championship, man. He deserves one. He's a Hall of Famer, first ballot. But anyways, I don't want to dwell on that too long. Christian Kirk, Um, Second-year player out of Texas A&M. I think he's going to be a stud, man. They drafted this guy pretty high with some draft stock. I think he was like a second-round pick or something like that. I didn't mean to view him in the draft depth chart, but we're going to go to his stats and contracts here just to see what round he was drafted. I'm pretty sure he was a second-round pick out of A&M, but yeah, I think he's going to be a stud. Yeah, second-round pick in 2017. I've seen him develop pretty well in this game into like superstar X factor. That'd be super nice to get. Damiere Byrd's also here. I mean, 27 years old. He's not really anything. He's kind of just an absolute fill-in piece for a receiving core that was depleted as it is. Andy Isabella, man, I thought he was going to have such a good year. Drafted him out of UMass last year. He just didn't get the opportunity. The dude can fly. There was one game where he had like an 80-yard touchdown. He just outran everyone on the field. He's a really exciting player, and I'd like to get him some snaps. Keyshawn Johnson, same kind of thing. He was hurt this year. But another guy I was super high on, physical, tall, wide receiver. Obviously, his archetype is deep threat, so that makes sense. DJ Humphries, fifth-year guy, 26 years old, not too old for an offensive tackle or an offensive lineman in general. He just hasn't been super spectacular in the league since he's come in. Like, he's always been very average, and I think that reflects in his overall, 73 with normal. Like, he just hasn't been very good. Justin Pugh is old. AQ Shipley is so old. He's like 34, 35. I think he came out of retirement to play with the Cardinals this year. Jared Sweezy, the ex-Seahawk, also very old. I think he's 31 or something like that. 31 years old, yep. Justin Murray, I think this is. Yeah, Justin Murray, 27 out of Cincinnati, just not very good. Charles Clay is very old, as old as some Clay relics of like yesteryear. Max Williams got a new contract this year, so he's going to move up in the depth chart. And even Dan Arnold, who got a contract this year, is going to move above him. I just hope Charles Clay is a pending free agent and we can let him go. Because, yeah, he's not a part of this team in the future. Moving into defense, Corey Peters is here, also another guy that's super old. This team is very old, but it just means that a lot of these contracts are going to expire. And we're going to have a lot of money available to us, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to rebuild the Cardinals. I think they're a super exciting young team in terms of the core talent. And I think it's just honestly getting rid of some of these old players, patching some holes here and there through the draft or free agency, whatever that might be. I mean, it's sunny Arizona. Who wouldn't want to live down in sunny Arizona? But yeah, I mean, some of these guys are just far too old and far too bad now. Patrick Peterson, man. One of the best corners in the league a couple years ago, if not the best. Suspended for most of this year, like 8 games or 9 games. 88 overall star development. He's 30 years old. We'll keep him until his contract expires, but he's going to face so much regression. The regression in this game hits around 27, 28 years old for like skill players. So we'll probably have to say goodbye to him at some point. Byron Murphy, who we drafted last year at Washington, is a very good player. He didn't have a spectacular season, but he was pretty solid for them. Still only 22, a lot of time to develop. Kevin Peterson is here, not nearly as good as the other Peterson. And then, who is this? Jalen Davis, second-year player out of Utah State, only 24. Budda Baker's here. This guy is a beast, man. Free safety out of Washington, 84 overall, had like 130-plus tackles this year. The guy is an animal. I mean, he kind of had to make every tackle because this front three / middle linebacking core couldn't do anything. He's kind of like a money backer, like a Tyrann Mathieu kind of style, which I'm a huge fan of. He's a beast, man. I'm really excited for him and his future. I just hope we don't use up his prime in the rebuilding phase of this team, but we'll see how it goes. Jordan Hicks, brought him in from the Eagles, 28 years old. He's okay. He's going to face some regression, so that's probably a position we're going to have to replace sooner rather than later. Obviously, Vallejo is also here. Only a 67 overall, just not very good all around. Hassan Reddick, I think he does better on the inside, but he's just not very aggressive. I don't know what it is. I was so high on him coming out of Temple. Um, Cassius Marsh is here too, who's like 33, super old. But I was pretty high on him coming in from Temple. I've seen him progress pretty well in this game. As I said, like I've done rebuilds in Madden before. I'm a fan of doing them. I really enjoy doing them. I just never thought I'd turn it into a channel, but here I am. Yeah, I don't really agree with his speed rusher archetype. I think he's better as an inside guy, but we'll see. Maybe we, pick up an edge rusher or something like that in free agency and we move him inside. And then Chandler Jones, man. Just this guy's a beast. He's 30 years old. Superstar X Factor, should win Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. He was just an animal, like had no help on the defensive end. He forces sacks and fumbles at an alarming rate, and he's so good. And we got him from the Pats, which just makes it a little bit sweeter. Deontay Thompson's also here, a guy who I was super high on coming out of Alabama. What's unfortunate is that in terms of developing players in Madden, the sim is relatively unforgiving. So as much as I think he's going to be a great player in real life, if he can overcome some of the injury problems he's had, he's probably just not going to end up being a big part of this team in the future. But we'll see. Maybe we can't get a strong safety at some point to fill that role, and we get him, and he progresses pretty well, and that's that. Special teams, Andy Lee is like 38. Zane Gonzalez was pretty good for us. Both those guys I hope are going to stay. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the team. 77 overall, 77 offense, 77 defense. I'm just going to quickly advance to the offseason. I'll see you guys there. All right, so we're here at the offseason. The Texans beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl 24-10. So Deshaun Watson gets his ring. And probably a pretty juicy contract after leading his team to a Super Bowl. I'm recording this after the divisionals already happened, so obviously the Texans are out. I like San Francisco in the NFC. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if Jimmy G can lead that team to a Super Bowl, man. That would be an awesome story. But anyways, back to the rebuild. Kenyon Drake is here. He's 26. He's an 80 overall. I feel comfortable giving him this deal. Running backs are pretty replaceable. If you're an NFL fan and stuff like that, that's the case. And he's going to go to free agency. Cool. Larry Fitzgerald is a 75 now. He was an 84. I can't bring him back. I'm going to offer him a deal, but I mean, if he takes it, he takes it. Great, he's coming back. If he doesn't, that's fine. Test free agency, Larry. You should definitely retire. Marcus Gilbert, a guy that I forgot to mention, brought him in from the Steelers. He's 32 years old. He's an offensive tackle. He's only got star development. Not interested. Charles Clay, 31. Not interested. Damiere Byrd, not interested. Brooks Reed, not interested. Zane Gonzalez is actually going to get a contract from us. He's going to be the first guy that we sign. Going to give him a 2-year deal worth $5.2 million just to bring back our kicker. There it is. Cool. DJ Humphries. He wants $6.68 million cap hit. 24.2 over 3 years. I'm going to offer him the contract, but if he doesn't take it, I'm not going to be heartbroken. And he does. So cool. We're going to bring back DJ Humphries. Fine. It is what it is. Dan Arnold got a contract in real life, I'm pretty sure, so I'd like to bring him back. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't think this rebuild is going to be all too realistic, mainly because we're not going to be using real life draft rosters and stuff like that. At some point I'd like to do a rebuild like that. Obviously, I haven't created a draft class or anything, but probably look to use another YouTubers or someone that is like pretty trusted in the community, like Bangle. I'm gonna leave his channel linked in the description, just because he's another guy that does Madden rebuilds and he created his own draft class, and I want to give him the credit if I eventually decide to use one of his draft classes. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna move into free agency here. We're gonna have a lot of money, so we're gonna have to make our decisions pretty wise. 62 million, almost 63. Chris Jones is here. Now, in real life, he's probably not going to get brought back by the Chiefs because everyone's terrified of how much Mahomes is going to make. But we desperately need an improvement at D tackle. Justin Simmons is here with no offers. He's a zone archetype who would play amazing at strong safety, and I know I just talked about Deontay Thompson, um, but I mean, he's an immediate upgrade. He's got no offers. I'm going to give him this deal, probably right around there. 5 years, 52.3 million, 86 in terms of total points. I think we can bring him in for that if he's got no offers to this point. So I'd be really excited to do that. The rest of these guys, like, Ngakwe's here, could definitely look to bring him in. You know, I don't really know if there's any other guys that I'm super excited about to bring in. I'm going to bring in Levi Wallace. He's been really good for the Bills this year. I don't want to bring him in on a 4-year deal because, like I said, the regression in Madden hits around 27, 28. So I'm comfortable giving a 3-year deal, probably worth 17.9. I'm comfortable giving him that. 76 total points, that's fine with me. Anyone else I'm interested? Maybe Demarcus Robinson, just because we don't have a ton of receiver depth since Larry left. I don't want to give him too big of a contract, though. It's only 3 years, so I'll give him 68 points. He's got no other offers right now, so I'm hoping to be able to get him. And I think that's going to be it for free agency. We didn't make too big of a splash, but I don't want to spend all my money right away. That's a common issue with like Madden rebuilding is you get money happy. Is we bring in Justin Simmons. That's a really big get. But yeah, like when I used to do these rebuilds, I used to just spend money like crazy in free agency, and it's just not how you get the best teams. You kind of gotta like really pay attention to how much money you're spending in free agency. So, Buda Baker got superstar development. I wonder why you got that. Probably because NFL tackles leader. That's pretty awesome. He's still an 85 at strong safety, so I'm comfortable moving him over there. I don't know why. I don't know why Justin Simmons isn't better at strong safety if he's a zone, but maybe I'm confusing free safety and strong safety. But whatever. That's a big addition to our secondary. That's going to help a lot because this secondary is similar to the rest of the team, kind of in rough shape. So I'm probably not going to offer, like Demarcus Robinson's getting another deal from the Panthers. That's fine. Levi Wallace hopefully will sign. I'm just going to go right to the draft, and I'll see you guys there. All right, so we are here at the NFL draft. Miami Dolphins pick number 1 overall. I'm not really too sure why the draft order is the way that it is because we're using real life rosters, so I think this might be a glitch in Madden right now because, I mean, the Bengals should definitely be drafting number 1 overall, regardless of whether I'm using a real life roster a real draft class or not. But the Dolphins have the number 1 pick, so they are going to take a random player from an undefined college and everything. So that's interesting. Who do we want to pick here? Oh, cool. There's another glitch that's been happening in Madden as well, where I don't get my draft pick in the first round. Apparently we took Rashawn Dixon, even though I sent to our pick, so that's really fun. I guess we'll just go to the second round. Sometimes this game, man, is so buggy and stuff like that. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. We're going to make our second round pick here. We're going to see what's left on the board. I didn't want to move up or anything like that because I don't want to give up like a lot of capital. Pretty good left tackle here. Pretty nice D tackle as well. Definitely a position of need. I think he's probably going to end up being the pick. Another nice running back as well as a right end here. I think Jabari Ewing is probably going to be the pick, a mid-round talent in terms of, where he's supposed to go in the draft. He's 15th overall and a 71. So that just tells me that this draft class is not very good. If you're drafting a 71 with normal development at number 15, it means there's no depth in terms of talent. So we're going to go to our third round pick here. I'm going to see what's left. Maybe there's someone that piques my interest. And if not, we're probably going to try and trade this pick away. I'm not too sure, but I mean, if there's nothing of value here, probably going to end up just trading this pick away just because, based on that last draft pick, it's not a very deep class. So we're going to trade this pick away. So I'm going to trade this pick away, and I'm going to see you guys at the end of the draft. All right, so we are back here at the end of the draft. I'm going to have to go into my draft recap because I didn't even make our first overall pick. And we drafted, who did we draft? A center. A 71 overall center was our 4th overall pick. Cool. So that's great. Took the D tackle in the second round, 68 D tackle from Michigan. CPU didn't draft great. Irvin Young is pretty good, I guess. 64 rookie in the 7th. But not the draft class we wanted to start off with. But we'll see how it goes. So the team is looking pretty rough. And that's to be expected in the first season. I mean, I didn't really have majorly high expectations, to be honest. But definitely have a huge hole at right tackle. Receiver depth is pretty poor. Hakeem Butler is also back from injury, which is pretty nice. I'm going to move him actually over Andy Isabella, and I'm going to put Isabella in the slot over Christian Kirk, even though I think Kirk being in the slot would help his progression a lot more. That's just, how it goes. I want Andy Isabella to try and develop as much as he can. I think we're going to officially move to we want to move to a 4-3. We have a pretty gaping hole at, middle linebacker, but actually we're going to stay in a 3-4. We're going to stay in a 3-4. We're going to start our rookie D tackle over Corey Peters. Let's actually see if we can maybe trade Corey Peters right now. So we're going to get a first-round pick from the Bills for Corey Peters, just like that. All right, I think that's pretty much going to be the only trade I make. Obviously trading for players in Madden is really difficult. So, it's probably not wise of us to try and go for a player right now, just because the team is, relatively poor. We're going to move our rookie D tackle to right end. I think he's going to profile better on the edge in a 3-4. And yeah, he's going to go up to a 70, so that's really encouraging. Zach Allen is a guy that I think I forgot to mention. I don't remember. Out of Boston College, I thought he was good value for where he was picked. I think it was like a 4th-round pick or something like that. Anyways, Patrick Peterson's still here. Levi Wallace is a pretty nice addition. Robert Alford's over here as well, ex-Falcon. And then obviously our studs at free and strong safety. We're going to hop in the sim. I might change the scheme just because the Cardinals scheme never really does very well in Madden. I'm going to change it to vertical zone run. Titans, for whatever reason, are always so good in this game, but I guess it makes sense because they're in the conference championship right now. We're going to leave it at 3-4, and I'm going to put on the Steelers defense. If you guys want to leave a comment on this video on your preferred defensive and offensive playbook, I know it matters a lot in this game, and you might end up seeing in this first season, this team isn't very good, but there's a chance we do really well. So we're going to send to the midseason mark, and I will see you guys there. All right, so just a little before the midseason mark, we are currently 3-3, coming off a 23-0 loss to the Dolphins of all teams. So not great, but a little bit of progress. We're going to go and look at our free agency here. Buda Baker's here. Now, he's 24. He's going to get a big contract from us. It's going to be a huge investment, but I think it's 100% worth it. We're going to bring him back on a 5-year deal. Patrick Peterson. I'm not bringing him back, and here's the reason. He's 30 years old. He's going to be 31 this offseason. He's going to regress. He's going to regress so much. He's probably going to go down to an 82, maybe even lower. And, you know, he wants a $12.5 million deal for 1 year. We can take that money and we can go to free agency. We can fill more of these gaps. It just doesn't make sense to bring back an old corner who is just regressing. It doesn't make sense. Hassan Reddick. This is really interesting. I don't want to give him a 4-year deal because with normal development and only being a 75, I don't foresee him progressing too much. However, that being said, I also don't want to see him walk, so I'm going to lower it by a year, but I'm going to increase the salary, and this might come back to haunt me if he takes this contract, and he does. But at the same time, if we manage to rework this team, and I think I can get him in a favorable matchup in the inside, then I think he can progress pretty well. And Jordan Hicks is only getting older, so, you know, at worst, he's here till he's 28, and we start to see him regress, and he leaves. And I want this video to be a 5-year rebuild, roughly. So the rest of these guys, I'm just not interested. Trent Sherfield, even though he's super young at 24. We signed Blake Bortles. Blake Boat, okay. Yeah, Trent Sherfield I'm not interested in. He's just not high enough overall. We're going to upgrade players here. Buda Baker, Christian Kirk, Kyler Murray. Usual suspects getting some XP there. Yeah, we're 73 offense, 79 defense. Not really anything too impressive. David Johnson's back to being the starting back, feature back after Kenyon Drake left in the offseason. Couldn't find a replacement for him, so that's just what we're rocking with. We're going to send him to the playoffs. I'm actually going to go and spend some coach XP first. We don't have a whole lot, but I think nope, we don't have enough for anything. Okay, cool. We're just going to go right to the playoffs then, and I will see you guys there. All right, so we just wrapped up Week 17 with a 42-0 loss to the Carolina Panthers. I don't know the team's record. We went 3-13, so we lost out. Okay then. Very interesting. I just want to check the schedule here because we were 3-3 at one point. Killed the Lions and then killed the Eagles, and then we just absolutely got destroyed down the stretch. Okay. Gonna have to work on this team a little bit. Gonna do some upgrades here. All right, so 75 overall offense, 79 defense after the first year. I've seen worse. No need to panic just yet. We're going to send to the Super Bowl. I don't know if I've ever seen one of my teams lose out like that. I've kind of seen it happen in other rebuilds that I've watched, but I don't know if I've necessarily seen it go that poorly. The Panthers and the Ravens are going to be in the Super Bowl. The Ravens I can see as a very realistic team in the near future to be in the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson, but I don't know about the Panthers because Cam Newton's future is very questionable there. However, we are going to look in free agency. I also forgot to check the team stats. I don't know if we still can. Yeah, we can. Okay, cool. We're going to see where this team went bad. Our offense was awful. Okay, cool. 32nd. Very good. And 31st defense. Cool. Okay, so we were bad. Real bad. Kyler Murray was meh at best. 3,300 yards, 24 touchdowns, 13 picks. Nothing great. Kyler Murray was our leading rusher. What on earth happened here? Why is David Johnson not playing? Where did David Johnson go? What? Chase Edmonds? What on earth is going on here? I guess I swear we had. Okay, I guess he retired and we can't see his stats for some reason. I don't know. That's very, very weird. I don't know if that's a glitch. Maybe let me know if you know what went down there, because I really don't know. But anyways, regardless, we weren't very good anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Christian Kirk was pretty good, 930 and 10. Andy Isabel, 591 and 2. Max Williams, 578 and 6. Okay distribution, okay in terms of yardage and touchdowns, whatever. Let's take a look at sacks. DJ Humphries out of 18. Cool. Very cool. Jordan Hicks had 108 tackles, 9 TFLs, 2 sacks, 1 pick. Not outstanding. Chandler Jones only had 4.5 sacks. Why are we not getting any pressure? What is going on with this team, man? Holy moly. Patrick Peterson, of course, in a contract year, had 5 picks. Levi Wallace had 2. Jordan Hicks had 1. Byron Murphy, 1. Jalen Thompson. Any defensive touchdowns? 2 for Patrick Peterson. Very nice. Okay, so in his contract year, he shows out and has a great season. We're going to go to yearly awards here. And your NFL MVP is Mitchell Trubisky. Great. That's realistic for sure. We are doing the Cardinals, so we're going to move to the NFC. No Cardinals. Defensive Player of the Year. No Cardinals. Offensive Rookie of the Year. No Cardinals. Defensive Rookie of the Year. We got Tyler Jenkins and Jabari Ewing at 4 and 5. Best QB, I doubt I see. Ooh, Phillip Rivers is on the Giants. Interesting. Yeah, no Cardinals anywhere to be seen. Oh, Christian Kirk at number 5 for best receiver. Yeah, I'm not really interested in these awards because we were so bad. And so I think we'll probably have the first overall pick based on how terrible we were. Yeah, I mean, Patrick Peterson's down to an 81. I don't care about the 5 picks. I don't care about the 2 defensive touchdowns. He's 31 years old, and he's only regressing. I said he's probably going to be an 82 or below. He's an 81. No, thank you. J.R. Sweezy, no chance. Trent Sherfield, no way. So we're going to move into free agency. We're probably going to make a pretty decent splash at this point just because we really need to improve this team, apparently. And we have $62 million to do it, so let's just do that. Trent Williams is here. He's so old, man. He's 33. No thanks. We're going to go after Kareem Hunt. He's usually a beast in this game. We're going to give him a nice, juicy contract. Probably right there. 95 overall points over the Dolphins. I'm okay with that. Austin Hooper. I know we gave Max Williams a contract and Dan Arnold a contract, but if we can get him on the cheap here, maybe at that would be huge. 79 overall, significantly better than the other 2 contracts. Marlon Mack. Do I want a 1-2 punch of Hunt and Mack? Probably not. I feel like we can definitely use our money elsewhere. Like Ebukam is probably going to be a guy who gets a deal. Depending on where this puts us, I might not off 93 overall points. It's going to put us 1 hair above, and I'm okay with leaving it at that. If we don't get him, we don't get him. That's fine. He's kind of one of those guys that even if you give him his top offer, he never really re-signs. So it is what it is. I'm not too heartbroken if he doesn't take that contract. In terms of the rest of it, like, there's not a lot of guys here that I'm super excited about giving a contract to. Maybe Charvarius Ward. He's only 25. Give him like a super cheap deal at like, around there, $9.9 million over 2. 79 points. I'm okay with that. He's still young. John Ross, that guy was so fast, but he just couldn't stay healthy in the league. I don't know what happened. Ebukam signs, Hooper signs, Hunt signs. That is huge. Back to a 77 across the board. I don't think there's anyone else I really want to re-sign, so we're going to see you guys at the draft. First overall pick. Where is our pick from the Bills? Oh, no, it's next year's. I gotcha. Okay, so I'm definitely going to look to trade down here just because we have a lot of holes on this team. And sorry for the hat adjustment. My hair's wild. But just because we have a ton of holes and we need as much draft capital as we can get. And I think we're going to get this deal from Miami here. They're offering us 2 first-round picks, 1 next year, 3 first-round picks. My bad. 2 from this year and 1 from next year. Absolutely for number 1 overall. That is a steal. So obviously we're moving down. They're going to take a 73 overall quarterback. We didn't need a quarterback anyways. I'm totally okay giving away that pick. Actually, we didn't give it away at all. We totally rinsed them for all their draft capital for the future. So that is fantastic for us. Pretty good receivers up here. This Von Prince guy looks pretty solid. I'm just going to go down the board here and see who I like. Don't need a free safety. We've got pretty good. This guard looks ridiculously good. He might end up being the pick just because he's the most talented guy on the board right now. There's a very good tackle in the second who I'll probably take with my other first-round pick. Another good right outside linebacker who I might want to kick inside. I think I'm going to end up going with that left guard. He looks just like an animal. Javonte Glenn, pass protecting left guard at Penn State. A- across the board. Pretty good combine. He's a 77 overall. Hidden development, number 6 in the class. And then we're going to move to number 19 here. Hopefully that tackle's still there. And maybe we look to, I didn't put him on my draft board, but maybe we look to go after that right outside linebacker after. Here he is. Ashton Sara is going to be the pick. 77 overall, number 5 in the class. 21 years old, only normal development, which is kind of a bummer, but also he's a super high overall, and he's going to be a great player. So I'm totally okay with that. Now, is that outside linebacker going to be on the board? Almost certainly not, just because, yeah, and he isn't. Just because teams see that and they know how talented he is and want to take him. This D tackle looks really, really good. So did this corner looks okay. The D tackle looks real solid. He's a power rusher. Probably works in a 3-4 scheme. We have Zach Allen there right now, but I think he's going to be a stud. 75 overall, only normal development again, which sucks. But it is what it is. We're going to move him to right end, where he's going to fit his archetype better as a power rusher. And, maybe have Defensive Rookie of the Year aspirations for him. I don't know. 3rd round pick here. Just trying to see if I can get any value here. I'm looking at that D tackle. It's not really a huge position of need anymore. We've got some fairly solid guys in there right now. But this draft class for D tackle is just insanely deep. Don't need a quarterback. Don't need a running back necessarily after bringing in Kareem Hunt. There's a 2nd round right guard here who looks fairly solid with B+ ratings across the board. There's also this guy in the 7th who's a 1st round talent. So I'm definitely going to be looking to bring him in at some point. The fact that he's a 7th round talent is really nice. 4th round talent, or 1st round talent in the 4th round at right tackle is someone that's definitely interesting. Don't need really defensive line. Maybe linebacker if there's anyone that's like really eye-popping. 2nd round talent is decent, but probably not who I want to spend my capital on right now, and definitely don't need anyone in like the safeties positions. So I think we're going to take whoever is first on my draft board here. Probably this right guard in the 4th round. He's a 2nd round talent. He's 70 overall. He's gonna come in and start right away because our line is bad and old. Still, um, that's a good pick. And out of Michigan. Fun fact about me: Michigan is my favorite college football program. I guess I could say. We're gonna bring in this right tackle. Is 71 overall, 28 in the class. That's a big addition. That's a big addition right there. Anyways, yeah, as I was saying, Michigan is my favorite college football program. Um, I actually have a cousin who goes to the school itself, but I just became a Wolverines fan just because I live in Toronto and they're relatively close. It's probably the closest team in terms of like an actual college football program. So I've always been a really big fan of theirs, and obviously they didn't have a great season this season, but um, Cornell Manning, 32 overall, but hidden development at 70 overall. Okay, so he's going to come in and start right away. I don't know about that other guard. Just going to send him to the end of the draft. Um, but yeah, Michigan is a great program. Obviously, they've kind of struggled getting over the hump against Ohio State recently. Um, but yeah, I have a cousin down who goes to the school, and I love the atmosphere of the big house, and yeah, hopefully they can kind of get back on track. They haven't really had a great quarterback in a while, so I'd like to see them go and get a quarterback. Um, but yeah, all right. Looking at the new team here, we're up to an 80 across the board. Manning's gonna start over Pugh for obvious reasons. Um, Mainly the hidden development. Pugh has just such a huge contract, man. I'd love to move that contract as much as I can, but it's just not feasible right now. I think I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna leave Glenn where he is, and keep Humphreys there. Humphreys is kind of a liability at left tackle, but I can always replace him at some point in the offseason. I forgot we brought in Austin Hooper. That's a really nice addition in terms of a target for Kyler Murray. Akeem Butler, Keyshawn Johnson, Andy Isabella, same kind of core of receivers. I'd like to see them start to actually hit some progression. Kareem Hunt and Chase Edmonds still here. Maybe look to bring in a second back in free agency here really quick. I don't know if there's anyone that's like really going to catch my eye, but yeah, not really interested in anyone there. I know Wade Gallman's kind of young still, but I don't know. I'm not really super interested in that. Onto the defense now. Still have a pretty massive hole at middle linebacker. Brought in, Hassan Reddick went up to star development. That's huge. So he's going to move inside and play middle linebacker. That's really, really encouraging to see him get star development. I think he just must have gotten that randomly at some point because I don't think he won any awards or anything like that. So he's a 72. We're going to start him over Jordan Hicks just because I think Hicks is, he's already hitting regression and stuff like that. Like, he's just not going to be a big part of this. We're also going to put him as our sub linebacker just to make sure he gets as many snaps as possible. Ebukam is a big addition into this team coming off the edge. We're going to move Hartwell to left end because he's a power rushing archetype, and I think he fits better out there than Zach Allen does. Again, this is kind of the reality of Madden rebuilds. Like, Zach Allen may very well progress into a decent player for the Cardinals. We just don't have time in terms of trying to really progress these guys. And then obviously Buda Baker and Justin Simmons still studs. And then the DB core is fine, I guess. Could use a fourth, but I'm not panicking about trying to bring in a guy. So we're going to go to the midseason mark here. Hopefully we don't go 3-3 and then lose out again. That was kind of something I've never really seen before. But I think we're going to stop just before the midseason mark. I typically do this just because I want to check out expiring contracts, maybe see if I can get a trade done before the deadline, just to give me an advantage going into the offseason and stuff like that. We're 2-4. Buda Baker has a breakout challenge, Buda Baker. Apparently I can't speak English anymore. We're coming off a big win over the Rams, 44-29, big interdivision win. So I'm actually okay with that. Chandler Jones is here in free agency. Definitely someone I want to bring back. I know that he's 31, but he's just so damn good. Like, that's the thing. He's going to regress so bad, though. I don't know if I want to bring him back. Christian Kirk is someone I definitely want to bring back. Probably give him that. Chandler Jones is going to have to... I'm going to have to see how much he regresses. It's probably going to be fairly significant, but it is what it is. Max Williams is not going to get a deal. He got extended and stuff like that. That's great in real life. He's 27 now. He's going to be 28 in the offseason. Just doesn't make sense. Chase Edmonds, as a rotational back, sure. I'll give you a contract. 2 years, $5.6 million. Perfect. Dan Arnold, I kind of want the tight end depth, but I don't want to bring back those guys. Mason Cole is a guy that I didn't even mention in terms of like when we were going over the team. And honestly, I don't regret not mentioning him. He is not good. He's always hurt. He's only 25, but he's a 63 overall. Get off my team. Like, I just don't want you. Upgrading the team now. We're going to see if our overall changes at all. Maybe up to an 81. 81 on defense, sure. We're going to go and spend our coach XP, try and get extra. Oh, we already got that. So expert scouting it is, because we definitely need to bring in new young talent. We're going to sim to the playoffs now. We missed the playoffs. Fantastic. And we went 5-11. This team just loses gas in the second half of the season. I mean, I guess I shouldn't have expected anything, but I mean, we're an 81 overall. Yikes, dude. We've got the Bills draft picks, so I'll be interested to see where that lands us. We're going to go into the stats here and see if, like, one of these is really awful. 13th best offense, not awful. Defense, 9th. How are we a 5-11 team? 12th in terms of points scored. This points against is going to be awful. 32nd. Oh my goodness. We were 9th in yards and 32nd in points. Absolutely disgusting. Kyler Murray, almost 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, 69 completion percentage. Not bad. Like, not great, but not bad. I can work with that. Kareem Hunt was great. 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Murray added 368 and 3 on the ground. Chase Edmonds added 6. That's okay with me. Christian Kirk. Oh, you know what? I must have not taken him out of the slot. 1,100 yards, almost 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. That's huge. Andy Isabella had a decent year. Austin Hooper came in and gabbed 6-15-5 for us. That's pretty average tight end numbers. I would have liked to have seen more production from him, but that's all right. Let's see here. Jordan Hicks led the team in tackles as opposed to Hassan Reddick, which is kind of unfortunate, but 115 tackles, 8 for loss, 5.5 sacks, 3 picks. That's a pretty good season. Chandler Jones at 7 sacks, Ebukam at 7, Tyler Jenkins at 6. That's a pretty decent season for him at right end. 5.5 or 5.5 for Jordan Hicks. Picks, I know someone had 4. Levi Wallace at 4. Can we get a star development for Levi Wallace, please? Thank you. 3 for Hicks, 1 for Baker, 1 for Byron Murphy, 1 for Hassan Reddick. I mean, we had some defensive touchdowns. Levi Wallace had 1, Buda Baker had 1. I mean, this team isn't fantastic. Don't get me wrong. The overall shows that. But I can't help but think that we're trending upwards. I mean, Justin Simmons got a new ability. That's pretty cool. Going to spend some coach XP here just because I always forget to use it. And then I regret it when I have like 10,000 XP and my teams are failing. We're going to sim to the offseason. The Chargers beat the Carolina Panthers, who made it to back-to-back Super Bowls only to lose. Classic. Chargers win it all. Talk about an OP team. Chandler Jones regressed to an 83, man. I can't give him a 3-year deal. Now he's asking for 2 years. Oh, yeah. He's asking for 2 years. I can't even give it to him. That's going to suck. Max Williams is 28. No chance. The rest of these guys, no thanks. So that's cool. We're going to move into free agency. If Chandler Jones doesn't get a big offer in free agency, I might try and re-sign him. But we got $46 million in free agency. Lamar Jackson's here. Quentin Nelson's here. What is going on? Okay, we're bringing in Quentin Nelson for sure. So he's going to get a deal from us. Jair Alexander's here. He's going to get a deal from us for sure. Mitchell Schwartz. Fred Warner's here. What is going on? This is the most insane class I've ever seen. Why are all these guys hitting free agent? Van Der Esch is here. This is ridiculous. There's so many good players here. Okay, hold on. Quentin Nelson, I'm going to lower my offer on because I got really excited and signed him to a pretty big deal when I can probably get him for less. So we're going to give him that. 73 total points. I'm comfortable staying there for now. Jair Alexander, that's such a huge bonus. I'm sorry about the lag, guys. I haven't fully, tried to work out how I'm going to do this all. It's my first video, and I'm just not used to the whole thing, so please forgive me if there's any kind of lag spikes and whatever. I'm trying to work on it, and I promise I'll come back, and, if this ends up getting some traction, even if it doesn't, I kind of just want to pursue this as something for fun, so bear with me. The setup isn't fantastic right now, but I'm trying to make it work. Van Der Esch he's going to get a contract. He's got Superstar X Factor. And we can bring him and replace Jordan Hicks for sure. He's going to get a huge deal. $105 million. Comfortable being there. 98 total points. We're rivaling the Dolphins. We're actually under them. It's another team that's going to have so much money. Just so much money to blow. I'm willing to go up to 110 over 5. That's a massive deal, but it's for a hugely impactful player, and I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. Totally like that deal. We're gonna see who we can bring in here. This is gonna be super interesting. I'm really hoping we can bring in all three. Van Der Esch says no. Jair and Quentin Nelson say yes. Okay, those are still two massive additions. Is Fred Warner still here? No, he is not. Von Miller's here. No thanks. Richard Sherman, no thanks. I don't want to bring him in on a one-year deal. Mike Gesicki, I'm actually going to bring in on a 2-year deal just because I'm pretty sure Dan Arnold left. And so did Max Williams. So he's going to get a really, really low ball contract. And Sam Darnold is here, and he's a superstar X Factor at 25. What on earth is going on? Are you kidding me? I've never seen that before. That is pretty ridiculous. Kiki Cutie's here at 25, and he's a 77. How much does he want? Nothing. I'm going to bring in Kiki Cutie. Do I think this would be a super impactful signing in real life? Probably not. Does he deserve that much money? Probably not. But he's young, and he gives us depth. Rest of these guys I couldn't care less about. Hopefully we bring in Kiki QT, and he doesn't. Very, very cool. 5th-year options we're going to look into. Kyler Murray. Yeah, definitely going to bring him back on his option. Don't want to pay him just yet because that's going to hurt us in terms of cap, for sure. 81 offense, 84 offense, 81 defense. My apologies. We're going to go right to the draft now. We have the number 2 overall pick. That works perfectly. All right, I'm going to take a look at this team now because I still haven't checked the developments. Glenn has star. He's going to move over to left tackle because he's a pass-protecting archetype, and that's really going to replace DJ Humphrey's role. I might kick him inside if we can't get depth otherwise, but this line looks pretty good now. Manning's a right guard. Can we trade Pugh or something like that, or release him? How much is his cap hit? $2 million? 100% I'm getting rid of this deal. So Justin Pugh's going to get released because he takes up way too much money. We save up like 8 million by just releasing him, and no one was interested in trading for him, which I'm not surprised about. So this O line all of a sudden looks really good. Austin Hooper and Gesicki are here. For some reason, this right tackle is also a great tight end. I'm assuming for his blocking ability, but Gesicki and Hooper. Kirk goes up to superstar. That's huge. Isabella, like, we need a receiver. We need to bring in a receiver for sure. Kirk cannot be the only one. Hunt's up to almost a 90 with star. Chase Edmonds staying at a 74. Hasn't seen any progression from him really all that much. Didn't bring any linebackers, but I mean Hassan Reddick and Hicks are still here, so fine, I guess. Ebu Kam is still good on the edge. Jair Alexander is a massive addition. Didn't get a dev increase for Levi Wallace, really. I'm going to move him above Murphy, and then is Murphy already in the slot? Okay, he is. So he's already in the slot corner role, so Wallace and Jair are going to be our boundary guys. Charvarius Ward is kind of just going to be a rotational piece. So the secondary is amazing. We just need a on-the-ball linebacker, edge rusher, really, and maybe some defensive line if there's like a stud out there, and a receiver. And that's pretty much it, really. Like, this team is solid. Just maybe some development would be really nice. We pick at 2 and 13. There goes a right outside linebacker from Texas, only 76 overall. I'm probably going to be able to get a guy. Rashard Donnell is a monster. Now, I've heard the rumor that see how his top skills go A minus A. I've heard that that's a Heisman, so in all likelihood, he's probably going to have a hidden development. So he's a early first round guy. I think he's the pick. I don't really need to look further than that. 76 overall. Huge reach from picking him at number 2, and he was the 6th best guy in his class. He's going to be number 2 receiver immediately. I don't really want to move up just yet. We're not quite at that point. We've got 3 first-round picks. I forgot about the Dolphins pick that we also got in that deal from them last year. This guy looks pretty good. Dan Conwell, Michigan State speed rusher. I have a problem with Michigan State, but that's okay. Pretty good running back. Right tackle looks unbelievable. Ed Null. Not really a huge position of need right now, so trying to look elsewhere here. Calvin Mays, a run-stopping left end, early first-round projection. I think he's going to be the pick. Unbelievable combine. 76. Number 3 in the class, but almost only normal development. The normal development has just killed me this whole rebuild, man. It sucks because just with hidden development, they just progress so much faster. And Dan Conwell's still here. And I think he's going to be the pick just because Oh, and that glitch happened again. Did it really? Fantastic. So maybe we didn't have that pick. Maybe we did. We should have. What happened here, man? I don't... Madden, fix your game. I don't get it. Can we trade it away? I have no idea. Get a 2nd and a 3rd this year? Oh, cool. So we can trade it away, but we can't take the pick. Cool. So that's a glitch. That's fun. And almost certainly that linebacker is not there anymore. And he isn't. That's great. God, this game sometimes, honestly. Right end there, left tackle, right guard, a baller who said no thanks to the combine. That's pretty cool. This D tackle looks really solid. Mid-first. Finesse moves A-. That's kind of a rarity. I think he's going to be the pick. And I know I keep taking defensive linemen, but you just can't have normal development anywhere. If you have normal development, your team just doesn't look as nice as when they have star and superstar, and that's just a fact. And it sucks that I have to keep trying to take shots on these guys. But they're mid and early first-round talents. there's always a chance that they're going to have that that ever so valuable hidden development. Anyone else here that like really piques my interest? I know we have a huge need at outside linebacker slash edge rusher. So I'm gonna see if there's kind of any left on the board that are maybe steals at their position in terms of later on in the draft. Um, we can always move Hassan Reddick back outside. I don't know if that's really what I want to do, but yeah, that's probably gonna have to be the move, and then maybe take one of these linebackers here. We're gonna put them all on our draft board, and then we're just gonna sim. The CPU will take one of them. We're an 84 overall, or 84 overall offense, 82 in terms of total team overall. We're pretty nice. I mean, Manning's gonna progress on this line. Leary's still young. Our first round selection from the first draft that we had with the glitch, which is super fun. Donnell, I'm really excited about at a 76. He's going to be an impact player at receiver. I do want Isabella in the slot again, even though Kirk had a great year in the slot last year. And I think, I didn't know this, but Tyler Jenkins actually profiles as somewhat of a left outside linebacking edge rusher. So we're actually going to put him there, and he's going to go down as, he would be better on the actual line, but he's a speed rusher, and he's a 71, so he's going to fill a need for us. And 73 to Hassan Reddick, 75. It's sad to think that they won't progress that much, but that's just going to be the way that it has to be for right now. This D-line with all this normal development just makes me sick. That's why I'm burping. Anything else that needs changing here? Reddick's going to be our sub linebacker. Ebukam, fine rushing. Byron Murphy, yep. And all right, so we're going to go into the year. Don't have any coach XP, and we're going to sim to just before the midseason mark. We're here in week 8, and we're 2-4-1. So again, not very good. Donnell has 2 points, which is nice. And we're going to take a look at our free agents here. I don't know what's going on with this team, man. I can't tell if it's the playbook or if it's the personnel. Byron Murphy wants a bigger contract than that. That's unbelievable. Levi Wallace is here. Not super thrilled to bring him back. Travarius Ward is also here. Not super interested in bringing him back. Jordan Hicks is not coming back. DJ Humphries isn't coming back. This is why I'm okay with his contract, because we got a replacement for him and now we don't need him anymore. So I'm actually super happy at the contract that we did give him. Andy Isabella's here for literally nothing, so I'm going to give him a contract for sure. Hakeem Butler's also here for next to nothing, and he's not going to be anything special, but he's a 73 and he's decent depth. Basically, that entire draft class is here, which isn't surprising. Byron Murphy being the main one from that. Levi Wallace at 27 is looking for a pretty big contract. It's just not one I'm willing to give him. I think we can improve that position in free agency / the draft. So I'm going to go to the playoffs. And do we make them? No, we don't. Of course not. We get crushed by Seattle and we go 3-12-1. I'm so close to bailing on this video, especially for the fact that it's my first one. This team isn't even bad, man. 85 overall offense, 83 defense. We're not jumping in or anything. We're not trying to get development traits by, cheesing the game and stuff like that. I don't want 99 overall teams. That just doesn't seem fun. I'd also be here for 8 hours trying to get every development increase, and that just doesn't seem like it's very entertaining for myself and for you guys. So Byron Murphy is here, he wants a pretty big contract, and I'm willing to give it to him because we want to keep him around, and that's probably a significant overpay, considering I already raised that once. But that's going to be the way it is. DJ Humphrey's not coming back. Jordan Hicks is not coming back. Jalen Thompson's not coming back. Keyshawn Johnson may come back. I can give him that deal, and if he takes it, he takes it. And he does. Cool. That's fine with me. Deontay Thompson, again, that guy that I talked about who, and he's going to go to free agency. Good for him, actually. I think that's actually the right call for his career in this simulated world. But another guy that I talked about who I was decently high on in terms of like him being in the Cardinals system, and we got Justin Simmons kind of right off the rip in free agency, and he's just never progressed. So, we're just getting no coach XP, which kind of sucks because we're not winning at all. So we're going to go to free agency here. We're still going to have some money to work with, $36 million roughly, and Bobby Wagner is here. Do I want to bring in Bobby Wagner for 2 years? I think we kind of have to go all in at this point. So I'm going to give him that deal. A.J. Brown's also here, and I'm going to give him a deal because we just got to get better at those two positions, and these guys fill massive, massive holes for us. So I'm going to give, 100-point contract to him. That makes sense. And the rest of the free agency class is just very lackluster. So I'm pretty okay, dishing these guys out pretty big contracts. Mecole Hardman's here, but I re-signed some of my other receivers, so our depth is good. It's just our talent isn't really shining through. So I'm gonna actually up Bobby Wagner's deal just to make sure that I get him, because I'm not really interested in the rest of these guys, and if I can land those two, that would be pretty significant additions. And we are gonna go ahead and hopefully do just that, and we do. We get Bobby Wagner, we get A.J. Brown, 87 offense, 81 defense. I've realized that I kind of forget to show you guys the stats at the end of the year. Let me know if you guys want me to show those, just because I kind of space out and I forget that people actually want to see those. And it also helps identify kind of where the issues in the team are. So that's on me, but hey, it's my first video. I'm still trying to work out some kinks and stuff like that. So definitely need to improve at corner. We got some dev increases here on the D-line. That's huge. Defensive Rookie of the Year there. And we got just a random development increase. So that's pretty huge to get those. Bobby Wagner's a massive addition. Corner's a huge need. Edge rushing linebacker, maybe a pure run stopping D tackle, and then backup running back. And this team is good, man. This team is so good. Can I get like a running back in free agency? Miles Sanders is here. He's gonna get a contract. Only a 2-year deal. But if we can bring him in, that's huge to just back up Kareem Hunt. Greedy Williams is here actually at 25. He's going to get a contract for sure, so I only need to focus on getting one corner. He's going to get a pretty significant deal from us, actually. And I think I'm comfortable there. Hopefully that goes through. And it does. 106 points. Probably an overpay, and we're probably going to be in quite a pinch in terms of cap space for next season because we need to pay Kyler. But we're going to go to the draft here. I'm not even really going to check if I got those guys. I gave them big enough deals where, I would assume that they would probably sign with us. We pick at number 3. This team is an 87 offense, 84 defense. I just don't understand how we're not good, man. Like, this team is just gross across the board. We've got decent depth across the line. We've got two great tight ends. The receiving core is deep and talented. Running backs are solid. Defense, we're pretty old, I guess. We're getting to that point, but we're pretty solid still. So we pick at number 3. DB goes number 1 overall, middle linebacker. I think our main focus here is probably just going to be there's a run-stopping D tackle who's mid-first round projected. All right, I'm going to see you guys in a sec with who I take, and we'll move on from there. All right, guys, so I'm pretty much set on who I'm going to take here. I think it's going to be Anthony Sellers out of South Carolina. He's a left end, but he's a run stopper. And again, I'm taking defensive line, but I think he's actually going to profile really well as a D tackle, just because of that run stopping archetype. So he's a 76 overall. He's 4th best player in the draft, and he's got a hidden development. Finally, we get a hidden development player, and he's on the D-line, which is really encouraging. Now, I really want to move up. Okay, so we give up our 2nd-round pick, but we move up, get another pick at number 4, and we're going to go right behind him and get Cam Joseph, who's a 75 overall speed rushing archetype, number 8 in the class at a Utah State. He's going to move to linebacker, left outside linebacker, and play that position. So he's going to come off the edge still, just in a 3-4. I think it was the right move, but we're going to have to see if his overall will go up or down depending on where he is. I think he'll probably go up. I'm actually going to take Braden Harold. Sorry, I can't read. 67 overall quarterback. We're kind of in the latter stages, so it doesn't really matter who we take at this point. Like, obviously, our first-round guys are going to be the ones that make the biggest impact on the team. And, it doesn't really matter if we take a third-round quarterback behind Kyler Murray. So we're an 85 overall, 87 offense, 84 defense. We're going to check back in here. Just make sure that we got our lineup set correctly. I mean, Donnell, A.J. Brown, Kirk, Isabella. It's great depth. Isabella, I'm actually going to keep Kirk in the slot this time so that Donnell and A.J. Brown can play the perimeter. I mean, Kareem Hunt and Sanders are great. Offensive line looks solid. Kyler Murray might be the only loose end on this team, to be honest. And that's pretty amazing to think about. So Joseph is going to be the one to move back to left outside linebacker. I'm really hoping that his overall will not plummet into the ground. But even if it does, he's still got that hidden development. So it'll probably not be too bad. And he stays at a 75, which is perfect. Joseph is going to move, Anthony Sellers is a run-stopping archetype, so he's going to move right inside to D tackle, and I can't find it. And did I change it? No idea, because it didn't give me the pop-up, so I'm assuming it didn't. And it did. He's a 77, and this team looks so good now. Like, it looks so good. Greedy Williams, I mean, maybe we go and look in free agency, see if we can grab like a 4th corner or something like that. But, I mean, we've got Ebukam, Mays, Hartwell rushing the passer, Byron Murphy in the slot. I think maybe we go and check out if we can nab like a cheap 4th corner in free agency. We're just going to advance the week here just to do that. We're an 87 offense, 84 defense, 85 overall. We're in year 3 now, and we're going to sign Bless Swan, and we have no money. Okay, so we can't do that. That's okay. We're going to, make it work with the team that we have. We started in 2020, so we're in 2023. And we're going to go to the midseason mark. We're 4-2-1, which is, thank God, honestly. Just thank God. Because I've been trying to find the perfect combination of playbooks, and it's so difficult. I find that like Titans are always really good, the Saints are always really good, Chargers, Browns are another really. I don't know why my voice just completely gave up on me there, but that was fun, and you were there to witness it, so cool. But Browns are always really overpowered in this game, so. Gonna look at contracts. I mean, we're getting into the later stages, so um, I don't really care about how long I'm giving contracts for. Kyler Murray re-signs on a 5-year, $125 million deal. Sure. Anyone outside of that, the center that we took in the first round, yeah, cool. I'm gonna give him a 3-year deal. You weren't my pick, my man, but you've turned out to be a solid player, so I'm okay with that. Hassan Reddick can walk. Only got up to star, only got up to a 75. Probably wouldn't give him the contract that I gave him if I could do it all over again, but yeah, it is what it is, honestly. And I'm sorry again for this lag. I'm still trying to work on the stream/video making setup. I'm new to all of this, so please have patience, I guess. If you're enjoying the video, drop it a like. Subscribe. I'd really appreciate that as like a fresh new channel. We're going to go to the playoffs. Hopefully we make them, and we're in the wild card. Okay. I can deal with that. We're going against the 10-6 Bears. We're an 88 overall offense, 85 defense. We went 10-5-1. All right, we finished at the top of the division. 49ers went 10-6, and the Rams went 2-14. Okay, so we're gonna check out the stats real quick. 5th best offense. Kyler Murray had a great year. Maybe that contract helped him. 19th in defense, not what I wanted to see really, but that's okay. 4th in points scored, and 14th in points allowed. I just quickly glanced over, and Christian Kirk had like an insane amount of yards. Kyler Murray was unbelievable. Almost 4,200 yards, 36 TDs, 8 picks, 71% completion percentage. Kareem Hunt, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Not bad. Kyler Murray had 388 and 4 on the ground. Christian Kirk had almost 1,500 yards from the slot. I'm telling you, Christian Kirk in the slot is an absolute cheat code. 1,500 yards and 8 touchdowns. Austin Hooper had the production that I wanted to see from him when I signed him. A.J. Brown came through with 10 touchdowns for us. Kareem Hunt out of the backfield had 4 touchdowns, almost 500 yards. Donnell, not really performing to his draft stock, but, we can make it work. Totally fine with that. Bobby Wagner had pretty good season, 123 total tackles, 7 for loss. Who led the team? Ebu Kam had 13. Sacks have not been up at all this rebuild, and it has to be the playbook. It has to be the Pittsburgh playbook that doesn't generate a lot of pressure, but I mean, we're getting pressures just spread across everyone, and I don't know if it's because we don't have like a true leader in terms of like a rusher, but it is what it is. 3 picks tied for the lead. Buda Baker and Jair Alexander. Sorry, I can't talk anymore. Byron Murphy. Decent amount of turnovers for the team. And any defensive touchdowns? Yeah, a couple. So pretty solid. But this is what really matters. Can we beat the Bears in the wild card? And we can. We lose 24-17, and that is going to be the end of that year. And we're going to spend some Coach XP because we actually have some to spend this time. And probably give it to Kyler. So I think Christian Kirk goes up to Superstar X Factor because I'm almost certain if you finish within like 1 in touchdowns or number 1 in receiving yards, you just get it automatically. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. As the Bears end up winning the Super Bowl. Cool. Anthony Sellers, our rookie defensive tackle, is up to an 80 already. And he's only got star because he didn't get an ability for reaching an 80 overall. And he got Defensive Rookie of the Year. Fantastic. So, Mike Gesicki isn't going to get a contract. Tyler Jenkins, we just don't have any money. We signed, we're going to lose some depth, but that's totally fine. We're not going to have enough money to sign anyone super impactful, but maybe there's a chance one of these top guys doesn't have a contract. We only have $3.4 million. This might be just ridiculous to even try, but Stephon Gilmore doesn't have a contract offer. So I'm going to give him a 2-year deal. It's literally peanuts. But you never know with Madden. It could just be the cheesiest signing of all time. And if we get him, we get him, and that's fantastic. If we don't, then it's whatever. He rejects. Javonte Glenn, sure. This is probably going to be my last year, so it doesn't really matter at this point. Just make sure we get these fifth-year options wrapped up. Sara, I think he's our right tackle, so he's definitely going to get a deal for sure. Just sign him to his option or whatever. I don't think we have our first-round draft pick, which is kind of problematic. I mean, it's not a big deal anyways. We ended up making the playoffs, so it wouldn't have been a high pick anyways, but I'm going to see if I can potentially move up this board. Yeah, so we don't have it. So I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to see if I can make a couple deals and try and move back up this board. All right, so the first deal we're going to do, we're going to trade one of our relatively younger prospects, a guard named Kendrick, a 3rd this year and a 2 next year for number 4 overall. I've kind of noticed that one of our big needs is middle linebacker, and our other big need is at corner. So I'm going to try again to trade maybe this right tackle here, Miles Kaplan, and I'll see you guys if I can get a deal done. All right, so we are sending Miles Kaplan, a young right tackle who we drafted, our 2nd-round pick this year and a 6th-round pick next year for number 10 overall from the Jets. So we have turned 2 of our offensive linemen, just 2 depth guys, into 2 top 10 picks. So we are going to sim to our pick at number 4. Left outside linebacker goes 1st overall, left tackle goes 2nd overall, receiver goes 3rd, and we are on the clock at 4. We need a linebacker, so the problem is it's not a hugely deep class for linebacker. This guy I looked at, but he's a power rusher, and then this guy I looked at, but he's a speed rusher. So we might have to make a deal with a team to try and acquire another middle linebacker, but I'm comfortable right now going for a corner here, and it's again not a great class for it, which kind of sucks, but we can also look here at some of these strong safeties who are very good, and Tyson Brackett is probably going to be the pick just because he's an early 1st-round talent and his ability is zone, and he's number 1 in the class from Michigan. Let's go. So he's a zone archetype, so he's going to be easily ready to go to corner. And I mean, we're picking here at 10. It's probably looking like we might be able to package this with... do I want to take this pick, or do I want to... that right outside linebacker looked very good. And I think I'm going to take him. Duncan Dupree. He's a 77, Deacon Dupree, 77 overall. Speed rushing archetype. Number 4 in the class. We took him at number 10. And hidden development. Okay, so he's a beast. That is huge. And now I just think we need to trade for a middle linebacker, and this team is going to be very, very, very good. Um, I know we had that defensive tackle move back into that outside linebacking edge rushing role. He is not going to be there anymore because that rookie is going to start and he is going to be a beast. And so there's no really point for me to take my 4th round pick. So we're just going to send to the end of the draft. This is going to be the last season, so whatever the result is, knowing Madden, probably not even going to make the playoffs, but whatever the result is, that's how this team is going to end up. We're an 88 on offense, 83 on defense, and honestly, I think the only thing bringing that defensive overall is literally middle linebacker. Other than that, this team is a beast. And do I want Dupree to start over Ebukam? I think I do, man. Ebukam, he's got such a bad penalty. Oh, can I even afford to trade him away for a middle linebacker? Probably not, right? I don't even know if I have any salary to get rid of. So we're going to look to trade away. We're in negative cap, which is kind of unfortunate, but we had to give Kyler Murray the deal that he asked for, and I'm going to see if I can move Ebukam's huge contract for a cheaper middle linebacking option. Roquan Smith would be unbelievable. All right, I'm going to try and work something out, guys, and I'll see you in a sec. All right, guys, so I managed to figure out a trade that actually benefited us. You'll see it in a second. I traded away Samson Ebukam. He had a massive cap hit against us, but I brought in and I traded him straight up for a auto-generated guy named Christian Bennett. He's a middle linebacker. I really, really needed one, and Dupree was ready to come in as a rookie and step in right away and be that edge guy. And Ebukam had a massive contract that I gave him myself, so I don't really have anyone else to blame but me. But that really, really improves the defense. And yeah, we're an 88 on offense, 84 on defense now. Kirk, I want A.J. Brown to be my main receiver there because I'm going to put Kirk back in the slot. Yeah, that's where he's going to be. I want Dupree rushing the quarterback as much as he can. And then, yeah, I'm pretty much comfortable with the rest of this team. So this is the last season, guys. We're going to see how it goes. 2024, we're going to advance the midseason mark. I'm not going to stop it before the trade deadline because we're not going to make any more moves. So it's 88 offense, 84 defense. Hopefully we get some XP and that goes up a bit. And hopefully we can walk away with our first Super Bowl. If not, it is what it is. It's kind of just the Madden sim being the way that it is. Obviously, I'd like my first video to go better for you guys. I feel like it would have been important for me to try and get a Super Bowl under my belt, but it doesn't always go like that. Sometimes you do these rebuilds, and in 5 years you win 4 or 5 championships, or 3. But sometimes you don't walk away with any, and that's just the way it is. That's Madden for you. 3-4 at the midseason mark, like I said. 88 offense, 84 defense, 3-4, cool. Dupree's got 2 XP points. I mean, there's not really much else that I can say besides this team is really solid. 89 on offense continues to climb. Maybe we have a strong, second half of the season. Maybe we don't. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't, but that's just going to be the way that it is. I mean, I thought I did a pretty good job trying to rebuild this team, and we're at week 17 here, and we didn't make the playoffs. So, I'm gonna sim to the final team here. Deacon Dupree looks like he's a beast. He's probably gonna have superstar X factor, and he does. 89 offense, 85 defense, 87 overall. I'm going to send to the Super Bowl. You guys are going to get a look at the final development traits, final team overall. We're also going to have, like the yearly awards kick in, so we'll get that extra XP boost. Deegan Dupree's already up to an 83. He's a monster. Wish we could have drafted him earlier, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Like I said, 89 overall. Offense, 87 overall. Defense, Kirk goes up to Superstar X Factor this year. He's got a first one free. Kyler Murray got Superstar. I don't know if I ever showed that, or like actually shouted it out in the video, but he did. Donnell, didn't really progress that much. Dupree has Superstar X Factor. He's got Fearmonger. He's a beast. And Buda Baker went up to Superstar X Factor. I mean, this team is so good, man. Like, I've built better teams, but this team kind of means a lot to me because it's the Cardinal. It's also the start of and kind of birth of my channel. 89 offense, 85 defense, 87 overall. Made the playoffs once. I wish I could say that, do I want to go for another season? I'm kind of like realizing this in my head that we're probably not going to have any money. We didn't even look at what our cap situation is going to be like. In these 5-year rebuilds and stuff like that, you do have to worry about money to an extent, but at a certain point that kind of goes out the window when you start to really get into, later on in the video or later on in the rebuild. This is kind of it, guys. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Final overalls are right there. 88 offense, 85 defense, 86 overall. Thank you for watching. Again, my name's Diggy. I appreciate if you're watching this. Thanks for coming to my channel. Thanks for checking out my first video. I'm going to try and stay as relatively consistent as I can, just because I really enjoy doing these rebuilds and stuff like that. So if you guys want more content, let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the future. All right, thanks very much. Bye.